Meanwhile, in Avengers Tower, someone has to clean Captain America's muddy boots and vacuum around Thor's forgotten hammer, even when the fate of the world was just saved upstairs. Welcome, friend. You've wandered into another quiet corner of extraordinary places made ordinary by daily work. Tonight we're stepping into the comfortable shoes of a member of Avengers Tower's night cleaning crew, where scrubbing scorch marks off walls and finding alien technology in coat pockets becomes just another shift. Here, with your cleaning cart and key card access, you'll discover that even in a building where superheroes save the world, someone still needs to empty the trash cans and mop the floors, no matter what chaos unfolded earlier in the day. So before you settle in for this shift with me, take a moment to like this video and subscribe, so we can keep bringing you more tales from the ordinary side of extraordinary places. Let me know in the comments where you're listening from tonight. It's always good to know who's keeping me company on these quiet watches. Now, get comfortable. Let the quiet hush of the room surround you, and allow the small, steady moments of a night shift at Avengers Tower to guide you gently toward rest. The staff entrance to Avengers Tower is nothing like the grand public entrance that tourists photograph from the street below. Located on East 58th Street, tucked between a service alley and a loading dock, the door is plain brushed steel with a simple sign, Stark Industries, authorized personnel only. Your keycard, worn from 3 years of daily use, the magnetic strip still miraculously functional, swipes through the reader with a soft beep that you've come to associate with the beginning of every shift. The transition from Manhattan's evening air to the building's climate-controlled interior is immediate and tangible. Outside, the October evening carries that peculiar New York smell of hot dogs, exhaust, and the first hints of autumn. Inside, the air is precisely 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Humidity controlled to exactly 45%, filtered through systems that can probably detect a single particle of alien spore contamination. It smells clean in a way that only expensive HVAC systems can achieve. Not sterile like a hospital, but fresh, with just a hint of whatever cleaning solutions the previous shift used. The staff corridor stretches ahead, fluorescent lights humming their steady electrical song overhead. The floor is industrial tile, grey with tiny flecks of blue and black, chosen specifically because it doesn't show dirt easily and can withstand the foot traffic of hundreds of employees daily. Your footsteps make a soft squeaking sound as you walk. Rubber-soled work shoes against polished tile, a sound that's become as familiar as your own breathing. The time clock sits in a small alcove, 20 feet down the corridor, a digital system that replaced the old mechanical punch clock 2 years ago. Some of the older staff members still complain about the change, nostalgic for the satisfying chunk of the mechanical stamp. But you've adapted. You press your thumb to the biometric scanner and the screen lights up with your information. Chen Sara, Custodial Services, Night Shift, 18487. 13 minutes early, which is perfect. Arriving early gives you time to check your assignment, gather your supplies, and mentally prepare for the shift ahead. The staff locker room is through another door, this one requiring both keycard and a PIN code. Security protocols in Avengers Tower are thorough even for cleaning staff. You key in your 4 digits, 2793, your mother's birthday, and the door clicks open with the magnetic lock's distinctive sound. The locker room is quiet at this hour, the day shift having left 30 minutes ago, the night shift still trickling in. The room is larger than you'd expect, accommodating the various support staff that keep Avengers Tower functioning. Maintenance workers, security personnel, kitchen staff, and the custodial team you're part of. The lockers are full size, painted Stark Industries blue-grey, each one numbered and assigned. Yours is number 47, middle row, 3rd section from the entrance. The metal door swings open with a familiar squeak. You've been meaning to bring oil from home to fix it, but you never remember. Inside, your locker is organised with the careful efficiency of someone who's learned exactly what they need for an 8-hour shift. Your work uniform hangs on its hook, Dark blue shirt with the Stark Industries logo embroidered on the chest pocket. Comfortable work pants designed for bending and reaching, and the lanyard that holds your ID badge with your photo from 3 years ago, back when you'd just been hired and looked both excited and nervous. You change methodically, folding your street clothes and placing them on the locker's shelf. The work shirt is freshly laundered. You take 3 home each weekend and bring them back Monday morning, always maintaining a rotation. The fabric is that particular blend that's designed for industrial work. Breathable but durable, comfortable but professional. The pants have reinforced knees and multiple pockets, perfect for carrying the various small tools and supplies you'll need throughout the shift. Your work shoes are already on. You learned early that changing into work shoes before the commute just makes sense. They're slip-resistant, with good arch support, the kind that podiatrists recommend for people who spend 8 hours on their feet. You've been through 2 pairs in 3 years, wearing them out completely before replacing them with identical models. Some things you don't experiment with once you find what works. The lanyard goes around your neck, your ID badge settling against your chest, where it will stay for the entire shift. The badge photo shows you with shorter hair and a slightly rounder face. You've lost a little weight from all the walking and physical work, though you hadn't been trying to. The badge lists your clearance level. Level 3, common areas and designated secure zones. Not high enough to access the really classified areas, but sufficient for your work, which includes most of the residential floors, common areas, training facilities, and some of the lower level labs. The staff break room is adjacent to the locker room, and you stop there briefly before heading to the custodial office. The break room is cheerful, despite being windowless, with walls painted a warm yellow and decorated with staff photos from various company events. The coffee maker gurgles as it finishes brewing a fresh pot. Someone from the evening maintenance crew must have just started it. The smell is rich and dark, probably the good stuff that Stark Industries provides for all staff, not just the executives. One of the benefits of working for a company with virtually unlimited resources, even the cleaning crew gets premium coffee. You pour yourself a cup in your personal mug. It lives in the break room cabinet with your name written on masking tape on the bottom. The ceramic is warm in your hands, and you add 1 sugar and a splash of milk from the refrigerator that's stocked daily by the facilities management team. The first sip is exactly right, hot enough to feel warming, but not so hot that you burn your tongue. You'll need this coffee. It's going to be a long night, and while you're used to the schedule after 3 years, your body still appreciates the caffeine boost. The custodial office is down another corridor, past the staff break room and the maintenance workshop. The door is propped open, warm yellow light spilling into the hallway. Inside, your supervisor, Marcus, sits at the desk reviewing the shift assignments on his computer. Marcus is 53, has been with Stark Industries for 22 years, and runs the night custodial crew with the efficiency of a military operation, combined with the warmth of someone who genuinely cares about his team. "Sarah, good evening," he says, looking up with a smile that crinkles the corners of his eyes. "Right on time as always. How was your day off?" "Quiet, which was perfect," you reply honestly. "Caught up on laundry, read a book, nothing exciting. Ready for tonight though. What's the assignment?" Marcus turns back to his computer, clicking through screens. "Got you on floors 15 through 22 tonight. Residential mostly, some common areas. Thor's apparently back from wherever he goes, so you'll need to check his suite. I've heard from day shift that there might be some cosmic residue, whatever that means. Also, Dr. Banner requested someone reliable for his lab spaces. Nothing hazardous, just his personal research areas, but he specifically asked for someone who follows protocols." You nod, filing away the information. Thor's suite means possibly dealing with scorch marks from lightning or strange substances that he tracks in from other realms. Dr. Banner's labs mean careful attention to his very specific organisational system. He's particular about where things go, and for good reason, given the nature of his work. Both are within your capabilities and actually more interesting than just vacuuming empty offices. "Anything else I should know?" you ask, pulling out your phone to make notes. Captain Rogers mentioned this morning that he'd left some paperwork in the gym that needs to be handled carefully. Apparently classified briefing materials. Security will collect it, but if you spot anything that looks official, don't touch it, just call it in. Marcus makes a note on his own sheet. Oh, and catering did a big event in the Common Lounge on 18 earlier today, so that'll need thorough attention. I've allocated you an extra 30 minutes for that space. Got it. Paperwork in gym, call security, catering mess on 18, extra time allocated, Thor's suite, cosmic residue, Banner's labs, careful protocols. You repeat it back, a habit that Marcus has trained into all his staff. Confirm the details, prevent miscommunication. Perfect. Your cart is already stocked in the equipment room. I did the inventory myself this afternoon, so you should have everything you need. If you run short on anything, text me and I'll have it sent up. The equipment room is exactly what it sounds like. A large storage space filled with cleaning carts, supplies, equipment, and the organisational system that keeps everything running smoothly. Your cart is where Marcus said it would be, already loaded with supplies according to the standard checklist. The cart itself is industrial grade, made by a company that supplies janitorial equipment to commercial buildings across the country. It's grey plastic with multiple compartments, smooth rolling wheels that can handle the tower's various floor surfaces, and a handle that's ergonomically designed to reduce strain during pushing. You've been using this same cart for 2 years now. It's not assigned exclusively to you, but somehow it always ends up being the one you take, and you've developed a familiarity with its particular quirks. The front left wheel squeaks slightly, the top shelf sits just a bit crooked, and there's a small crack in the plastic near the bottom that hasn't spread in all the time you've been using it. You check the supplies methodically, running through the mental checklist that's become second nature. All-purpose cleaner, glass cleaner, disinfectant, bathroom cleaner, wood polish, all full bottles, microfiber cloths in 3 colours, blue for general surfaces, yellow for glass, red for bathrooms, trash bags in 3 sizes, vacuum cleaner attachments, duster with extendable handle, mop heads, both wet and dry, rubber gloves in your size, small sharps container for any potentially hazardous items, first aid kit, clipboard with incident report forms. Everything is present and properly stocked. Marcus runs a tight ship, and his inventory management means you rarely encounter situations where you're short on supplies mid-shift. You've worked places before where half your time was spent tracking down, cleaning products, or dealing with equipment that didn't work. That's not an issue here. The service elevator is around the corner from the equipment room, much larger than the passenger elevators, and capable of accommodating your cart plus several other carts if multiple staff members are travelling together. You press the call button and wait, listening to the mechanical sounds of the elevator descending from wherever it last stopped. The doors open with a quiet hydraulic hiss, revealing an interior that's purely functional. Metal walls, rubber floor, fluorescent lighting, and a control panel with buttons for every floor of the tower. You wheel your cart inside and press the button for the 15th floor. The doors close with that particular sound that elevator doors make, a soft thump followed by the hum of the elevator beginning its ascent. The sensation of upward movement is smooth. Stark Industries maintenance keeps everything in perfect working order, including the service elevators that most people never even see. The elevator has a small display screen showing the floor numbers as you pass them. Ground floor, second floor, third floor, counting upward in steady progression. The ascent is quiet except for the elevator's mechanical sounds and the slight squeaking of your cart's wheels as it shifts with the movement. You watch the numbers climb: 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. The doors open onto the 15th floor service corridor, a hallway that runs parallel to the main residential corridor, but is hidden behind tasteful panelling, allowing staff to move through the building without constantly being visible to residents or visitors. The service corridors are one of Stark's clever design features. Every residential and office floor has them, creating a whole secondary network of passages that the cleaning crews, maintenance teams, and other support staff use to do their work efficiently. The service corridor is narrower than the main hallways, lit by the same efficient LED lighting that illuminates the rest of the building, with the same comfortable temperature. The walls are painted a soft grey, easy to touch up when they get scuffed from cart traffic. Your cart rolls smoothly on the corridor's hard flooring, and you head toward the access door that leads to the residential areas you'll be cleaning tonight. Your shift has officially begun. Avengers Tower awaits, with its particular combination of everyday spaces and extraordinary circumstances, all of which need cleaning regardless of whether the day involves saving the world or just routine training exercises. You check your phone. 19:03, 8 hours of work ahead, floors 15 through 22, and the satisfaction of methodical, careful service in one of the most remarkable buildings in the world. Time to begin. The 15th floor is what Stark Industries calls a mixed residential level, a combination of temporary quarters for visiting heroes, some permanent resident suites, and several common areas designed for relaxation and informal gathering. The main corridor that you access from the service hallway is wide enough for 3 people to walk abreast comfortably, with ceiling height that's more generous than standard apartment buildings. The floors are hardwood, real hardwood, not laminate, with a finish that's somehow resistant to the kind of damage that superhero traffic might inflict. The walls are painted a warm cream colour, accented with artwork that rotates periodically. This month's selection appears to be abstract expressionism, large canvases with bold colours and sweeping brushstrokes. Some of them are probably worth more than a year of your salary, but you've learned not to think too hard about that. Your job is to keep the walls clean and dust the frames, not to appraise the art. The lighting in the residential corridors is different from the service areas, warmer, more like household lighting than office fluorescence. The fixtures are recessed into the ceiling, creating an ambient glow that's bright enough for safety, but soft enough to feel residential rather than institutional. As evening deepens into night, the lights will automatically dim slightly, programmed to support the circadian rhythms of the residents. You start with the trash collection, which is always the first task in residential areas. Each suite has a small alcove near its entrance, where residents can place their trash and recycling, discreetly tucked behind a panel that matches the wall. Your keycard opens these alcoves, and you work your way down the corridor methodically, collecting bags and checking for items that need special disposal. Suite 1501 has a single bag of standard trash, food containers, paper waste, the usual detritus of daily living. You transfer it to the trash compartment on your cart and replace it with a fresh bag from your supply. The alcove is clean, no spills or odours, requiring nothing beyond the routine exchange. Suite 1502 is similar. 1 trash bag, 1 recycling bag, full of cardboard boxes and plastic bottles. The recycling goes into a separate compartment on your cart. Stark Industries takes sustainability seriously, with extensive recycling and composting programs that would impress most environmental organisations. Every piece of waste gets sorted, processed, and either recycled, composted, or disposed of using the most environmentally responsible methods available. Suite 1503 belongs to whoever Thor is hosting this week. His suite is one of the permanent ones, but he often has guests from Asgard or other realms staying with him. The trash alcove contains 3 bags today, one of them noticeably heavier than usual. You lift it carefully and feel the weight of what seems to be glass, maybe broken dishware. A note taped to the bag reads, "Broken goblets. Sorry, Thor," in large enthusiastic handwriting. You smile despite yourself. Thor is unfailingly polite, always apologising for messes and thanking the cleaning staff whenever he sees them. The broken goblets are probably from whatever celebration happened in his suite recently. You make sure the bag is sealed properly so no glass shards can escape, and place it carefully in your cart's trash section, making a mental note to warn Marcus so it can be disposed of safely. Suite 1505 is interesting. This one temporarily houses one of the SHIELD agents, who sometimes stays in the tower for extended missions. The trash is minimal, just a few protein bar wrappers and an empty coffee cup, but the recycling contains a surprising amount of paperwork that's been thoroughly shredded. You don't question it. Classified information stays classified, even after it's destroyed. The shredded paper goes into the secure disposal section of your cart, which will be emptied using protocols designed to prevent any possibility of reconstruction. By the time you've worked your way down the corridor, collecting from all 8 suites on this hallway, your cart's trash and recycling compartments are comfortably full, but not overflowing. It's a good amount of waste for this floor. Not excessive, but enough to suggest that people are actually living here rather than just using the suites as empty storage. Next comes the corridor itself, which requires different attention than the suites. You start with the high dusting, extending your duster's telescoping handle to reach the light fixtures, door frames, and the tops of the picture frames. The duster's head is made of microfiber, designed to trap dust rather than just spreading it around. You work methodically, moving from one end of the corridor to the other, checking each potential dust-gathering surface. The amount of dust is minimal. Yesterday's night shift would have done this same task, and only one day's accumulation doesn't create much build-up. But consistency is important in professional cleaning. Daily attention prevents accumulation, which prevents the need for more intensive cleaning sessions later. A light daily dusting is far easier than weekly heavy-duty cleaning. The hardwood floor needs attention next. You retrieve your dust mop from the cart, not a traditional bristle mop, but a flat microfiber pad on a handle that's perfect for hardwood floors. The mop glides across the wood, picking up the inevitable accumulation of dust, hair, and small particles that settle on horizontal surfaces through the simple process of existing in a space where humans and other beings move around. The corridor isn't very dirty. The building's air filtration system is remarkably efficient, and most residents are considerate about removing shoes or cleaning boots before tracking things through the halls. But you still find the usual collection of debris: a few hairs, some dust, a small leaf that must have blown in when someone entered from the exterior balcony access, a tiny piece of what looks like glitter from someone's clothing. As you mop, you notice a dark spot on the floor near suite 1503, Thor's place again. On closer inspection, it appears to be a scorch mark, about the size of a quarter, where something hot or electrical made contact with the floor's finish. It's not deep enough to damage the wood itself, just the surface finish. You make a note on your clipboard: Fleisch 15, corridor, outside 15003, minor scorch mark, non-urgent touch-up needed. The maintenance team will handle actual repairs, but documenting issues is part of your responsibility. The corridor's glass surfaces come next. The decorative mirror panels installed at intervals along the walls, probably to make the space feel larger and more open. You switch to your glass cleaner and yellow microfiber cloths, designed specifically for streak-free cleaning. The technique is simple, but requires care. Spray the cleaner onto the cloth rather than directly onto the glass. Prevents overspray and drips. Wipe in overlapping strokes. Buff with a dry section of the cloth to remove any remaining cleaner. Most of the mirrors are already clean, showing only the light haze of fingerprints and atmospheric dust that accumulates on any glass surface. One mirror, however, has what appears to be a handprint at an odd height. Too low to be an adult standing normally, too high to be a child. You clean it without speculating too much. In Avengers Tower, unusual things happen, and learning not to question every anomaly is part of the job. The door to suite 1506 opens as you're finishing the glass cleaning, and you step back to allow whoever's emerging to pass. It's Sam Wilson, the Falcon, in civilian clothes, carrying a gym bag over his shoulder. He's clearly heading out for evening training or maybe just a run. "Evening, Sarah," he says with the easy friendliness that characterizes most of your interactions with the Avengers. They learned your name fairly quickly. You're here 5 nights a week, and they're observant people by profession. "Evening, Sam. Have a good workout," you reply, moving your cart slightly to clear the hallway completely. "Thanks. Oh, hey, if you're doing my place tonight, I left my laundry bag in the usual spot. Should be good to go." He's already walking down the corridor, moving with the athletic grace of someone in peak physical condition. "Got it, I'll take care of it," you call after him, making a mental note. Several of the permanent residents use the tower's laundry service, which is technically separate from your cleaning duties, but which you often coordinate simply because you're in their spaces regularly and it's efficient. Sam disappears around the corner toward the main elevators, and you return to your work. The corridor is now fully serviced, trash collected, surfaces dusted, floors mopped, glass cleaned. You check your phone. 19:34. The corridor took just over 20 minutes, which is right on schedule. Good pacing is important for getting through all your assigned areas without rushing, but also without wasting time. Now comes the more detailed work, entering individual suites to perform the cleaning tasks that require access to private spaces. You key your access card through the reader at suite 1501, hearing the distinctive beep and click of the electronic lock disengaging. The door opens smoothly on hinges that are probably whisper quiet expensive, revealing the interior of a suite that's currently housing a visiting SHIELD agent. Time to begin the detailed work of making superhero living spaces clean, organised, and welcoming for whatever tomorrow brings. Suite 1501 is what Stark Industries calls a standard guest suite. Though standard in Avengers Tower means something considerably more luxurious than standard anywhere else. The entry opens directly into a combined living room and kitchenette with a bedroom and bathroom accessible through doors on the right side. The space is approximately 650 square feet, well designed to feel larger than it actually is through clever use of mirrors, lighting, and minimal furniture that doesn't crowd the space. The first thing you always do when entering any suite is a visual sweep, checking for anything that requires special attention or caution. Weapons left on tables, classified documents scattered around, mysterious substances that might be alien technology or dangerous chemicals. You've learned to notice these things immediately. Today, Suite 1501 looks normal. The bed is unmade, a few clothes are draped over a chair, a coffee cup sits on the kitchenette counter, and some papers are scattered on the small desk. You start with the trash cans, emptying the small bin near the desk and the one in the bathroom. The waste is mundane. Tissues, food wrappers, an empty energy drink can, some cotton balls that smell like nail polish remover. Everything goes into your cart's trash compartment, and you replace the bags with fresh ones. The bathroom trash also contains an empty toothpaste tube and some dental floss packaging. Normal bathroom waste that requires no special handling. The bathroom comes next. You put on a fresh pair of rubber gloves from your cart, red gloves for bathroom cleaning, a colour coding system that prevents any possibility of using the same cloth or gloves for bathroom surfaces and other areas. The bathroom in Suite 1501 is pristine compared to some you've encountered. The shower shows signs of recent use, with water droplets still clinging to the glass enclosure. But the resident has clearly wiped down the major surfaces. You spray your bathroom cleaner on the counter, sink, toilet and shower, letting the chemical dwell for the recommended 2 minutes while you attend to other tasks. The mirror needs cleaning. Toothpaste splatter and water spots are inevitable in any bathroom. You use your glass cleaner and a yellow cloth, wiping in systematic strokes from top to bottom, left to right, ensuring complete coverage without streaks. The mirror reflects the bathroom lights in clean, bright clarity when you're finished. The toilet gets a thorough cleaning, bowl, seat, exterior base, everything. You're not squeamish about this task, having learned early in your cleaning career that bathrooms are just another space that needs systematic attention. The cleaner does most of the work. You just need to apply it properly and scrub where necessary. The toilet in suite 15-1 is already quite clean, requiring only maintenance attention rather than intensive scrubbing. The shower enclosure is where most of your bathroom time goes. The glass doors show water spots and soap residue, and the grout between the tiles always seems to collect some soap scum, no matter how well residents rinse. You spray the shower cleaner liberally, paying special attention to the grout lines and the corners where mildew likes to establish itself. The scrub brush, designated only for showers, kept separate from all other tools, makes quick work of the soap scum. Rinse with the handheld shower head, dry with a clean cloth, and the shower looks practically new. The floor comes last, mopped with disinfectant cleaner that leaves a light, clean scent. You work backward from the far corner toward the door, ensuring you don't step on freshly cleaned surfaces. The bathroom tile is some kind of engineered stone, probably expensive, definitely durable, and it cleans beautifully with minimal effort. Back in the main room, you move to the kitchenette. The dishes in the sink are few, just the coffee cup you noticed earlier, and a plate with fork. The current resident has apparently eaten breakfast here. You wash the dishes by hand rather than using the small dishwasher, mostly because running the dishwasher for 2 items seems wasteful. The soap is the same brand used throughout the tower, some industrial but pleasant-smelling formula that cuts grease effectively. The dishes go into the drying rack, clean and ready for next use. The kitchenette counter gets wiped down with all-purpose cleaner. You check the coffee maker and find old grounds still in the filter. You dump these into your compost bag, rinse the filter, and leave the machine ready for next use. The microwave interior gets a quick wipe, the small refrigerator exterior gets cleaned, and the sink gets a final polish with a dry cloth. The living area requires mostly dusting and straightening. You don't touch the papers on the desk. They might be arranged in a specific order, and you're not paid to organize other people's work. But you dust around them carefully, clean the desk surface where it's exposed, and empty the desk trash can. The coffee table shows ring marks from cups that were set down without coasters. You apply a small amount of wood polish to your cloth and buff the marks away, restoring the table's even finish. The furniture gets dusted, the shelves, the TV stand, the windowsill. The vacuum cleaner comes next, a commercial-grade machine that's probably too powerful for a space this small, but which makes the job quick and thorough. You vacuum the entire living area, moving furniture when possible, getting into corners and along edges where dust accumulates. The vacuum sound is loud in the quiet suite, a steady motor roar that's oddly satisfying in its confirmation that you're doing work. The bedroom is last. You don't make the bed, the instructions are clear that you're not a housekeeping service that does full bed making daily. But you do straighten the covers if they're completely disarrayed, fluff the pillows, and ensure the space looks tidy rather than chaotic. The bedroom floor gets vacuumed, surfaces dusted, and the trash can emptied. One final walk through to check your work. Bathroom clean and fresh smelling, kitchenette spotless, living area dusted and vacuumed, bedroom straightened. You check your phone. 1958, 24 minutes for suite 1501, which is about right for a standard guest suite that's being actively used but isn't particularly messy. You exit the suite, ensuring the door locks properly behind you, and move to suite 1502. The routine will repeat with variations depending on what you find. Some suites are messier, some are cleaner, some have unique challenges. But the systematic approach remains the same. Trash, bathroom, kitchen, surfaces, floors, final check. The work continues, steady and methodical, one suite at a time. Suite 1506 belongs to Sam Wilson, and you key yourself in with the same electronic beep and click that grants access to all the suites on your route. Sam's place has a more lived-in feeling than the guest suites. Personal items on the shelves, photos pinned to a corkboard near the desk, a distinctly individual sense of organisation that comes from someone who actually resides here. rather than just temporarily staying. You start with your usual visual sweep and immediately notice something unusual on the coffee table. What appears to be a piece of advanced technology, roughly the size of a TV remote, with exposed circuitry and several LED lights that are blinking in a slow, rhythmic pattern. It's sitting next to Sam's tablet and a half-empty water bottle, clearly left there casually rather than being hidden or secured. This is one of those moments where your training and the tower's protocols come into play. The standing instruction is clear. If you find anything that looks like technology, weapons, or other items that might be classified or dangerous, don't touch it, don't move it, document it, and report it. You pull out your phone and take a photo of the device in situ, then send a quick text to Marcus. Suite 1506, unidentified tech on coffee table, appears active, proceeding with cleaning around it. Marcus's response comes within 30 seconds. Noted. I'll flag security. Clean around it, don't disturb. Thanks for reporting. You continue your work, giving the mysterious device a wide berth. The trash cans get emptied. The bathroom gets its thorough cleaning. Sam's bathroom is tidier than some. Military training probably instills habits that persist even after becoming a superhero. The shower has his shampoo and body wash, neatly arranged on the built-in shelf, and the counter holds only essential grooming items, organised in a small basket. In the bedroom, you find the laundry bag Sam mentioned, sitting in the closet doorway, exactly where he always leaves it. The bag is one of the tower's standard-issue laundry bags, white canvas with a drawstring top and Sam's suite number, written in permanent marker on the side. You tag it with a quick service request on your tablet. Sam's clothes will be picked up by the laundry service, cleaned and returned within 24 hours, one of the many support services that Stark Industries provides. The interesting discovery comes when you're dusting the bookshelf near Sam's desk. Tucked between a biography of the Tuskegee Airmen and a Tom Clancy novel, you find what at first appears to be a regular book, but which, on closer inspection, is actually a hollow book safe. The book is slightly ajar, revealing that it's been opened recently, and you can see inside what looks like. You pause, looking more carefully without touching anything. Inside the hollow book are several small items: a dog tag on a chain, what might be a pressed flower sealed in plastic, a black and white photograph of two men in military uniforms, and what appears to be a folded letter. These are clearly personal items, mementos that Sam has chosen to keep secure but not locked away in a safety deposit box. This isn't your business, and you certainly shouldn't be looking at it. You step back, return to your dusting, and make no mention of the book's safe in any documentation. Some things you see in your work are meant to remain private, and part of being trustworthy in this job is knowing what to report, the technology on the coffee table, and what to simply ignore, personal mementos that happen to be visible. Trust is earned through discretion as much as through competence. The suite gets its full cleaning routine: surfaces dusted, floors vacuumed, bathroom spotless, kitchenette clean. You work around the device on the coffee table, which continues its slow blinking throughout your time in the suite. Whatever it is, it doesn't seem to be doing anything threatening, just sitting there being electronic. As you're finishing, your phone buzzes with a text from Marcus. Security says device in 1506 is a Stark Industries prototype that Sam is field testing. Non-hazardous, just don't move it. Thanks for reporting though. Exactly right protocol. You respond with a thumbs up emoji and complete your final check of the suite. Everything is clean except for the mysterious blinking device, which remains exactly where Sam left it, presumably exactly where he wants it. You exit, lock the door, and move on to the next suite. Suite 1508 is currently unoccupied, which makes it the easiest type of cleaning. Unoccupied suites still need maintenance. Dust accumulates, air circulates, surfaces need attention, but there's no personal belongings to work around. No occupied bathrooms, no risk of disturbing someone's routine. You move through it quickly, hitting all the key areas, but without the careful attention to detail that occupied suites require. The day's work continues, suite by suite, each one revealing something about the person who lives there. Suite 1510 has protein powder containers on every available surface, definitely an enhanced individual's residence, someone whose metabolism requires massive caloric intake. Suite 1511 has a meditation cushion near the window and the faint scent of incense. Suite 1512's bathroom contains approximately 24 different hair products, suggesting someone who takes their appearance very seriously, or possibly someone whose hair requires specialized care. In Suite 1514, you find something that definitely requires reporting. Tucked under the bed, partially visible, is what appears to be a handgun. You don't touch it, never touch weapons, but you photograph it and immediately text Marcus and copy security. The response is quick: stay out of suite, security en route. You exit 1514, lock the door, and move to the next suite while security handles the weapon. 10 minutes later, Marcus texts, gun belongs to Shield Agent in 1514. They forgot to secure it properly. Security reminded them of protocols. All clear, you can return to clean when convenient. You return to 1514 after finishing 1515, and the gun is gone, presumably secured in whatever safe the agent should have used in the first place. The rest of the cleaning proceeds normally. By the time you've finished all the residential suites on floor 15, it's 21:17, and you've encountered 3 pieces of technology you didn't recognize. 1 weapon, various personal items that you carefully didn't disturb, and the general, everyday detritus of people living their lives while occasionally saving the world. Your documentation is thorough, your work is complete, and you're ready to move to the next floor. The elevator carries you and your cart up to 16, where different challenges await. Floor 18 is where Marcus mentioned the catering event happened, so you head there directly after completing the residential suites on 16 and 17. The common lounge on 18 is one of the tower's largest shared spaces, designed to accommodate everything from casual gatherings to formal meetings to events like the one that apparently took place earlier today. The elevator doors open, and you wheel your cart toward the common lounge entrance. Even before you open the double doors, you can see through the glass panels that Marcus wasn't exaggerating about the mess. The space looks like the aftermath of a successful party, and in Avengers Tower, parties tend to be more elaborate than average. You prop open the double doors to allow easy cart access and take in the full scope of the work ahead. The common lounge is approximately 2,000 square feet, with floor-to-ceiling windows, along one wall offering a spectacular view of Manhattan's nighttime skyline. The interior has multiple seating areas, with couches and chairs, several tables of various sizes, a bar area along the back wall, and a small stage that's probably used for presentations or entertainment. Right now, the beautiful space looks like a hurricane passed through. Tables are still set up for the event, covered with rumpled tablecloths and the debris of catering. Empty serving platters, scattered napkins, glasses in various states of emptiness, plates with remnants of food. One table appears to have been the dessert station, evidenced by the cake crumbs and what might be frosting smeared on the tablecloth. Another table holds the remains of what was probably an impressive cheese and charcuterie display, now picked over and looking somewhat tragic. The floor is dotted with dropped napkins, a few spills that have been stepped on and tracked around, and the inevitable crumbs and small debris that any large gathering generates. The bar area shows evidence of active use. Bottles and glasses clustered together, a wet bar towel draped over the edge, what might be a small puddle of spilled liquid on the counter. You take a moment to develop a strategy, which is always important when facing a large cleaning job. Start with trash collection to clear the space, then address the bar area, then work on the tables, then finish with floor cleaning. Breaking a big job into systematic steps makes it manageable rather than overwhelming. The trash collection takes 20 minutes and fills 2 large bags. You work methodically around each table, collecting used napkins, paper plates. Stark Industries uses surprisingly eco-friendly disposables despite being able to afford anything. Empty bottles and cans for recycling, and genuine trash. You find the usual assortment of items people leave at events. A forgotten phone charger, which goes into the lost and found box on your cart. Several pens, a pair of reading glasses, also to lost and found, and mysteriously, a single sock. You never understand how people lose socks at events, but it happens with surprising regularity. The bar area requires more attention than a simple wipe down. The bottles need to be organised and checked. Some are empty and should be recycled, some are partially full and should be stored properly. Some are expensive enough that they probably shouldn't have been left out overnight. You make executive decisions based on 3 years of experience. Cheap bottles that are nearly empty get poured out and recycled. Mid-range bottles that are less than a third full get poured out, expensive bottles, and anything more than a third full gets properly sealed and stored in the bar's cabinet. The spilled liquid on the bar turns out to be some kind of mixed drink, sticky and requiring actual scrubbing rather than just wiping. You apply your all-purpose cleaner, let it dwell, then scrub with a dedicated bar cloth. The bar's surface is some kind of polished stone, probably granite or marble, and it cleans beautifully once you remove the sticky residue. The bar stools get wiped down, people lean on them, sit on them, and generally transfer all kinds of grime during events. The tables are where the real work happens. Each table needs its tablecloth removed, all remaining items cleared, surface cleaned, and chairs straightened. The tablecloths go into a designated laundry bag that the linen service will collect. They're too large for the building's regular laundry and get sent to an industrial cleaning service that specialises in event linens. One tablecloth is particularly problematic. The dessert table's covering has cake frosting ground into the fabric, red wine stains, and what might be chocolate. You fold it carefully to contain the worst of the stains and make a note on the laundry tag. Heavy staining dessert table may require special treatment. The linen service is good at handling tough stains, but flagging them helps ensure they don't just run it through a normal wash cycle. Under one of the tables you find what appears to be a piece of advanced technology, similar to the device you found in Sam's suite earlier, but smaller, about the size of a USB drive, with a blinking blue light. Following protocol, you photograph it, text Marcus and security, and continue working while waiting for instructions. The response comes quickly. Looks like a Stark Industries prototype demo unit. Security will collect. Good catch. The tables, once cleared and cleaned, get returned to their stored configuration. The lounge normally keeps tables folded and stored in a dedicated closet, with only a few set up for everyday use. You wheel the event tables to the storage closet, lift them carefully. They're surprisingly heavy, built to last rather than to be lightweight, and slot them into the designated spaces. The chairs get stacked properly, the stored tablecloths get organised on their shelf. The floor cleaning is the final major task. You start with the vacuum, which makes quick work of the crumbs, tracked dirt and general debris. The vacuum's canister fills noticeably. Events generate a surprising amount of particulate matter that settles on horizontal surfaces. After vacuuming, several spots on the floor show staining or spills that need wet cleaning. You switch to your mop bucket, filling it with hot water and the appropriate floor cleaner for the lounge's hardwood surface. The mop is the professional, flat-style microfiber system, not the old-fashioned string mop that actually spreads dirty water around. You mop systematically, working from the far corner toward the entrance, covering the entire floor in overlapping swaths. One spot near what was the dessert table proves stubborn, definitely cake frosting that's been stepped on and ground into the wood's finish. You apply a small amount of straight cleaner, let it dwell, scrub with a dedicated scrubbing brush, then mop up the dissolved residue. The spot comes clean, leaving the floor looking uniform and properly maintained. The final touches: straighten the remaining furniture, ensure the pillows on the couches are properly arranged, adjust the window blinds to their standard position, check that all lights are functioning properly, Do a final walkthrough to catch anything you might have missed. The lounge now looks like its normal self. Clean, organised, welcoming, ready for tomorrow's use, whether that's casual relaxation or another event. You check your phone. 22:43. The common lounge took an hour and 26 minutes, which is actually quite good for the condition it was in. The extra time Marcus allocated was just right. You exit the lounge, ensuring the doors are properly closed but not locked. This is a common area that residents should be able to access any time. Your cart is noticeably lighter now, having deposited multiple bags of trash and recycling, but it's also accumulated dirty cloths and the laundry bag of tablecloths that need to be dropped off. Time to move on to the next area. The night is still young, and your floor assignments continue upward through the tower. Floor 20 houses the training facility, and cleaning it requires different protocols than residential or common areas. You pause at the entrance to review the facility status board, a digital display that shows which areas are currently in use, which are scheduled for use, and which are available. This is important because you never want to interrupt active training, both because it's disruptive and because wandering into the middle of combat practice might be genuinely dangerous. The board shows that the main gym is currently occupied. Captain Rogers is in the middle of his evening routine, apparently, but the boxing area, the meditation room, and the equipment storage are all clear. You'll clean the available areas now and return to the gym later when it's free. The equipment storage room is first. This space is larger than it might sound, designed to hold everything from basic weight plates to specialized training gear that probably costs more than your car. Your job here is straightforward. Organize anything that's been left in disarray. Wipe down any equipment that shows signs of use. Check for items that need maintenance and ensure the space is ready for tomorrow's training. You find the usual disorder that accumulates when people are focused on training rather than clean-up. Weight plates are scattered around the floor rather than being properly stacked on their storage rack. Resistance bands are in a tangled pile on a shelf. Several foam rollers are leaning against a wall rather than being in their designated bins. You begin organising systematically. The weight plates are heavy, even the smallest ones, but you've developed the technique for moving them safely. Squat down, lift with your legs, carry close to your body, set down carefully. The plates stack onto their racks in ascending weight order, creating neat columns that make it easy for athletes to find what they need quickly. The resistance bands require careful handling to prevent tangling them further. You separate them one at a time, checking each for signs of wear or damage. Wear is a safety issue with the resistance bands. They can snap if the rubber deteriorates. Then hang them on their designated hooks, organised by resistance level. As you're organising the foam rollers, you find something wedged between two of them. A small notebook, spiral bound, with a worn cover. You open it cautiously to see if there's any identification, and the first page reads, Training Log, S. Rogers, in neat handwriting. This is Steve's personal training journal, apparently mislaid during his workout. This goes into your lost and found box, and you make a note to tell Marcus, so he can inform Captain Rogers. A training journal probably contains information about workout routines and progress. Nothing classified, but it's still personal and Steve would probably appreciate getting it back quickly. The boxing area is next. This space centres around a professional-grade boxing ring, surrounded by heavy bags, speed bags, and various striking targets. The ring itself needs minimal cleaning, just a quick wipe of the canvas to remove any sweat or debris. But the surrounding floor shows the evidence of intense use. Scuff marks from footwork, sweat drips, the occasional blood spot from a split lip or bloody nose. You mop the floor carefully, paying special attention to any biological contamination. Blood, even in small amounts, gets treated with disinfectant and proper safety protocols. You wear gloves, use designated cleaning materials, and ensure everything is properly sanitized. The blood spots here are small and already dried, easy to clean up with proper technique. The heavy bags show wear in the form of indentations and impact marks, but that's normal and not something you need to address. However, you do wipe them down with disinfectant. Shared equipment that people hit repeatedly should be sanitized regularly. The speed bags get the same treatment, though they're much smaller and quicker to clean. In the corner of the boxing area, you find a first aid kit that's been opened and partially used. A few bandages are scattered on the nearby bench, and there's a small blood-stained gauze pad that was probably used to address someone's cut. You collect the medical waste in your sharps container, which is technically for needles but also serves for any potentially infectious materials, restock the first aid kit from the supplies in your cart, and make a note that the kit needs a full inventory check and restocking by the medical staff. The meditation room is the easiest space to clean, perhaps ironically given its purpose. The room is deliberately minimal. Hardwood floor, several meditation cushions arranged around the perimeter, soft lighting that can be adjusted, and a sound system for playing meditation recordings or music. There's no equipment to organise, no messes to clean up, just a peaceful space that needs dusting and floor cleaning. You dust the windowsill where someone has placed a small potted plant. You make sure to check its soil moisture. Not your job technically, but the plant looks thirsty, and there's a watering can right here, so you give it a small drink. The floor gets its quick dust mop and damp mopping, and the meditation cushions get fluffed and arranged in a perfect circle. As you're finishing the meditation room, your phone buzzes with a text from Marcus. Gym is clear now. Captain Rogers finished for the evening. You're good to clean it. The main gym is the training facility's largest and most important space. When you enter, you immediately smell the distinctive gym scent. Sweat, rubber floor matting, the slight metallic tang of exercise equipment. It's not an unpleasant smell exactly, just distinctly athletic. The air handling system keeps it from being overwhelming, but there's no eliminating it entirely in a space where enhanced humans regularly push their physical limits. Captain America's workout has left evidence across multiple stations. The weight bench shows clearly where he was lifting. The bar is still loaded with plates totaling an amount that would probably injure you if you tried to lift it. You don't attempt to unload the bar. That's not your job, and you're not trained in proper weight equipment handling, but you do wipe down the bench padding with disinfectant. The pull-up bar has sweaty handprints on it. The rowing machine's seat shows moisture from a clearly intense cardio session. The floor near the kettlebell rack has sweat drops that need sanitizing. You work methodically through the gym, addressing each piece of equipment that shows use. On one of the benches, you find what Captain Rogers was apparently looking for: his training log, the notebook you found earlier. Except this isn't his log. This is a different notebook, and when you check, it's marked Workout Plan Maximoff W. Wanda Maximoff must train here too, and apparently she and Steve both misplaced their notebooks. This one also goes into the lost and found. The gym's floor is specialised rubber matting, designed to absorb impact and protect both the floor beneath and the athletes training on it. Cleaning it requires a different approach than hardwood or tile. You use a dedicated gym floor cleaner and a mop designed for rubber surfaces, working in sections to ensure the entire floor gets sanitized without becoming dangerously slippery. Near the treadmills, you find a small puddle that's clearly sweat. Someone had an intense cardio session and left their own personal rainfall behind. It's gross in concept, but routine in practice. And you clean it up with the same professional detachment you'd use for any other spill. The final check of the training facility confirms everything is clean, organised, and ready for tomorrow's use. The equipment storage is organised, the boxing area is sanitised, the meditation room is peaceful, and the main gym is spotless. You exit, ensuring the doors lock properly behind you. The training facility has restricted access for security reasons. You check your phone. 23:51, almost midnight, and you're roughly halfway through your shift. The work continues, floor by floor, each area requiring its own particular attention and technique. Floor 21 is partially occupied by Dr. Banner's personal research laboratories, and Marcus mentioned that Banner specifically requested reliable cleaning staff who follow protocols. You're honoured by the assignment. Banner is particular about his spaces for good reasons, and being trusted to work in his lab areas is a sign that you've proven yourself competent and careful. Before entering any lab space, you review the posted protocols on the door's digital display. Each lab has specific rules, and they vary depending on the research being conducted. Banner's personal research areas are classified as Level 2 Biohazard, non-infectious, with additional notes about chemical storage and equipment sensitivity. The first lab is what appears to be a general biology workspace. Long counters line the walls, covered with various equipment, microscopes, centrifuges, incubators, and devices you don't recognize, but which clearly serve important scientific purposes. The center of the room has a large work table with more equipment and several notebooks. Your instructions for lab cleaning are very specific. Do not touch any equipment unless it's clearly designated for cleaning. Do not disturb any papers or notebooks. Do not empty any containers unless they're clearly marked as trash. Do not adjust any settings on any equipment. Do clean floors. Wipe down counter surfaces that are clear. Empty designated trash bins. Do report any spills, damage, or concerns immediately. You start with the trash bins, which are clearly labelled and have foot pedal lids to prevent contamination. The trash is mostly paper waste, printed data sheets, notes, used gloves, empty supply packaging, nothing hazardous, everything going into normal trash. There's a separate biohazard waste container, but it's sealed and marked for specialised disposal. You don't touch it, just make a note that it's getting full and probably needs collection soon. The floor is standard laboratory tile, easy to clean and chemical resistant. You mop carefully, avoiding any equipment cords or areas where sensitive instruments might be affected by moisture. The cleaning solution is specifically formulated for laboratory use, effective sanitizer, but without harsh chemicals that might damage equipment or contaminate research. The counter surfaces that are clear get wiped down with disinfectant. You move carefully, aware that this is someone's carefully organised workspace and that disturbing anything could disrupt important research. Most of the counter space is occupied by equipment or active experiments, but the areas that are clear collect dust and general grime just like any surface, and they need regular attention. On one clear section of counter, you notice a coffee mug that's been left long enough that the coffee inside has developed a disgusting film. It's sitting in what appears to be a designated clean zone away from any active experiments, so you feel safe collecting it for washing. The mug has a humorous science joke printed on it. "I'm not crazy, my mother had me tested." You smile and make a note to wash it thoroughly. The second lab is set up differently. This one appears to be more chemistry focused, with fume hoods, gas chromatography equipment, and extensive chemical storage cabinets. The protocols here are even more specific, requiring you to ensure the fume hood is running before you enter. It is, and to avoid the area immediately around the hoods while cleaning. This lab is notably tidier than the biology lab, with almost everything put away properly and surfaces already quite clean. Dr. Banner clearly works differently, depending on the type of research he's conducting. Biology work is apparently more sprawling, while chemistry work is more contained. You still perform your full cleaning routine, but it goes quickly when there's less to address. On the small desk in the corner of the chemistry lab, you find something interesting, a child's drawing taped to the wall near the computer monitor. The drawing shows what is clearly the Hulk, rendered in green crayon, with the words Uncle Bruce written in kids' handwriting at the bottom. It's surprisingly sweet, evidence of Bruce Banner's personal life, beyond his work as a scientist and Avenger. You carefully dust around the drawing, making sure not to disturb it. The third lab is Banner's office area, less of a laboratory and more of a personal workspace. This is where he apparently does his paperwork, computer work, and reading. The office is comfortable A good desk with multiple monitors, bookshelves absolutely packed with textbooks and journals, a comfortable reading chair near the window, and another coffee mug, this one empty, thankfully. The office requires different cleaning than the labs. The trash can has typical office waste. Crumpled papers, food wrappers, a banana peel that's getting concerning. You empty it into your cart's trash compartment and replace the bag. The floor is carpeted here, so you vacuum rather than mop, working around the furniture and getting into corners where dust accumulates. The bookshelves need dusting, but you're extraordinarily careful not to disturb Banner's organisational system. The books are clearly arranged in some kind of order, not alphabetical, possibly by subject or research project. And removing books or rearranging them would be inappropriate. You dust the exposed shelf surfaces and the tops of book spines without moving anything. On Banner's desk, you find another notebook, this one labelled Thoughts Personal, which you absolutely do not open. That goes into your lost and found box with a note to Marcus that it should be returned to Banner, personally and privately. You also find what appears to be a birthday card, opened and read, sitting next to the keyboard. The card shows a cartoon Hulk and reads, "Hope your birthday is smashing." You smile at the pun and carefully dust around it. The window in Banner's office offers an impressive view of Manhattan at night, and you take a moment to clean it properly. The glass cleaner and yellow microfiber cloth remove the fingerprints and atmospheric haze, restoring the view to crystalline clarity. It's a small thing, but having a clean window makes a space feel more cared for. As you're finishing Banner's office, you hear a soft sound behind you and turn to find Dr. Banner himself standing in the doorway, holding a tablet and looking somewhat apologetic for startling you. "Sorry," he says quietly. "Didn't mean to sneak up on you. I was just checking some data and heard someone working in here." "No problem, Dr. Banner," you reply, professional as always. "Just finishing up your office. I found a personal notebook on your desk. I've set it aside to be returned to you privately." His expression shifts to something that might be relief. "Thank you. I've been looking for that. And thank you for being careful in here. Some of the other cleaning staff have, well, they mean well, but they don't understand that lab organisation is very specific. Of course, the protocols are clear, and I follow them carefully. I've noticed. That's why I requested you specifically for this area." He pauses, then adds, "The coffee mug from the biology lab is probably mine too. Sorry about the state of it." "I'll have it clean and back in there tomorrow night," you assure him. "You're very professional. I appreciate that." He steps aside to let you exit. "Have a good rest of your shift." "Thank you, Dr. Banner. You have a good evening." The interaction is brief but pleasant, and you feel a quiet sense of pride that your work has been noticed and appreciated enough that Banner specifically requests you. In a building full of superheroes and geniuses, being recognised as reliable and competent feels like its own form of achievement. You check your phone. 00:37, past midnight now, well into the deep quiet of the night shift. The tower is settling into its overnight rhythm. Most residents asleep, or at least in their quarters, only the night owls and insomniacs still active. On to the next floor. Floor 22's primary feature is Thor's suite, and Marcus's warning about cosmic residue makes sense when you open the door and immediately see the evidence of otherworldly activity. The suite is larger than the standard guest quarters, befitting Thor's status as both an Avenger and, technically, royalty from another realm. The space combines modern furnishings with decorative elements that are clearly Asgardian. Tapestries depicting epic battles, metalwork that looks like it was forged by master craftspeople centuries ago, and the general aesthetic of someone who is comfortable in both ancient castles and modern high-rises. The first thing you notice is the smell. Not unpleasant exactly, but unusual. It's like ozone mixed with something floral and something else that you can't quite identify. The smell of lightning and other worlds, apparently. It's pervasive throughout the suite, clearly the result of whatever Thor has been up to recently. The second thing you notice is the floor. In the center of the main living area, there's a circular pattern burned into the hardwood, approximately 3 feet in diameter, with what looks like runic symbols arranged around the perimeter. The wood isn't damaged, it's more like it's been painted or stained with incredible precision to create the pattern. The center of the circle is slightly darker, with a shimmer to it that makes your eyes feel odd if you look at it too long. You photograph the pattern and text Marcus. Thor's suite floor pattern appears to be magical circle or similar. Appears permanent, not damage. How should I proceed? Marcus responds, leave it. It's been there before. It'll probably be there again. Clean around it. If it's actually sticky or dirty, wipe gently, but don't scrub it. Thor says it's from conducting magical business, whatever that means. Fair enough. You begin your cleaning routine, working around the magical circle. The trash collection reveals the remnants of what must have been a gathering. Multiple empty bottles of something labelled in runes you can't read. The broken goblets that Thor had already warned about in his trash, and several plates that show evidence of a feast. You collect everything carefully, making sure no glass shards escape from their bag. The kitchen area is where things get interesting. Thor's kitchenette contains normal appliances, but the contents tell a story of someone who isn't quite adjusted to modern earth food culture. The refrigerator contains an entire wheel of cheese, not even wrapped, just sitting there. What appears to be a side of cured meat hanging from a makeshift hook. Several earthenware jugs of unknown contents, and incongruously, a case of Pop-Tarts. The Pop-Tarts make you smile. You've heard that Thor has an unexpected fondness for them. The counter shows evidence of food preparation, with crumbs and grease splatter that suggest meat was cooked enthusiastically, if not skillfully. You wipe everything. You wipe down, applying extra degreaser where needed. The stovetop has burn marks that look permanent. Thor apparently cooks at very high temperatures, or possibly uses his lightning powers to heat things. The burn marks don't come off with normal cleaning, so you make a note for maintenance. The sink contains a pile of dishes that includes both modern plates and what appear to be actual Asgardian serving pieces. Metal platters and goblets that are probably hundreds of years old, and definitely handcrafted rather than mass-produced. You wash everything carefully, treating the Asgardian pieces with extra care. They're surprisingly heavy, the metal dense and obviously high quality. The goblets are beautiful, actually, with intricate engravings that tell stories you can't read, but can appreciate aesthetically. In the bathroom, you find evidence of Thor's unique nature. The shower has scorch marks on the tile. Apparently, he sometimes summons lightning while showering, or possibly he just runs very hot. The shower head has clearly been replaced multiple times based on the different mounting marks on the wall. The current shower head is industrial grade, probably chosen for durability. The medicine cabinet contains nothing medical. Instead, it's full of what appear to be Asgardian grooming supplies. Small bottles and jars labelled in runes, a comb that looks like it's made from horn, a straight razor that is definitely actual silver, and inexplicably, a modern toothbrush still in its packaging. The contrast between ancient and modern is constant with Thor. The toilet, surprisingly, is normal. Even gods need modern plumbing, apparently, and Thor uses it like everyone else. This is somehow both amusing and humanizing. The bathroom floor shows water damage near the shower, probably from overflow or Thor's enthusiastic bathing habits. You mop carefully, but the water damage is beyond what cleaning can fix. Another note for maintenance. The bedroom reveals more personality. The bed is enormous, custom made, clearly, because Thor is substantially larger than average humans. The sheets and blankets are a mix of modern bedding and what appear to be furs from animals you don't recognize. The furs are clean, but definitely real animal pelts, probably from Asgard. You straighten the bedding but don't try to fully make the bed. Thor's sleeping arrangements are beyond the scope of standard bed making. On the nightstand, you find several items. A photo of Thor with the other Avengers, all of them laughing at something outside the frame. A smaller photo of Thor with a woman. You recognise Jane Foster from news coverage. An unusual-looking stone that glows very faintly in the dark room. And a book in English titled Midgardian Customs and Manners, a guide for Asgardians. The book has many dog-eared pages and marginalia in Thor's handwriting. The closet contains Thor's armour and weapons, which you absolutely do not touch. The armour hangs on a specially reinforced rack, gleaming and magnificent even in the closet's dim light. The cape is arranged to drape properly, the red fabric looking both ancient and new simultaneously. On another rack, casual clothing, jeans, t-shirts, leather jackets that Thor apparently wears when not being a superhero. Even his casual clothes are size XXL or larger. The main living area has various Asgardian decorations that you dust carefully. Tapestries depicting battles with monsters that probably actually happened. Weapons mounted on walls as decoration. Actual weapons, not replicas, some of them clearly magical, based on the faint glow or the way they make the air feel different near them. You dust around everything, not touching the weapons themselves. Protocol: never touch residents' weapons or potentially magical items. On a bookshelf, you find Thor's reading material. A mix of Norse mythology books, probably for homesickness or amusement at Earth's interpretation of his culture. Some science textbooks. Thor is friends with multiple scientists and apparently tries to understand their work. And several fantasy novels. One is bookmarked about halfway through, The Lord of the Rings. Thor is reading Tolkien. This makes you smile. Even an actual mythological figure enjoys fantasy literature. As you're vacuuming the bedroom, you find under the bed what appears to be a small hammer, much smaller than Mjolnir but clearly designed in a similar style. You carefully pull it out. It's surprisingly heavy for its size, maybe 5 pounds, and examine it. There's a tag attached, Replica, Tourist Shop, remember to call Mother. Thor apparently bought a toy version of his famous hammer and left himself a reminder to call home. This is so endearingly normal that you have to pause for a moment. You place the small hammer on Thor's desk where he'll see it, hopefully remembering to make that call. The vacuum finishes the bedroom, surfaces get their final dusting, and you do a last check of the suite. Everything is clean, except for the permanent magical circle on the floor and the various scorch marks that are apparently just part of Thor's living space. You exit the suite and lock it, noting the time, 01:23. Thor's place took longer than a standard suite, but it's also considerably larger and had unique challenges, worth the extra time to ensure it was properly maintained. Next is the break room, where you'll refill your supplies and maybe have a quick snack before tackling the final areas of your shift. The Avengers Tower cafeteria operates on a schedule that accommodates the unusual hours kept by superheroes and support staff alike. During the day, it serves 3 meals to whichever residents and staff are present. At night, it maintains a smaller operation. The kitchen is closed, but the dining area remains open as a break space. And there's always coffee, some basic snacks, and usually leftovers from dinner available in the refrigerators for night shift workers or heroes returning from late missions. You access the cafeteria through the service entrance, pushing your cart into the kitchen area first. The kitchen isn't your primary responsibility. There's a dedicated kitchen cleaning crew that works different hours. But part of your night shift duties includes a basic cleaning of the dining area and a check of the front of house spaces to ensure they're ready for breakfast service. The kitchen shows signs of the day's cooking but is already mostly clean, the evening kitchen staff having handled their cleanup before leaving. You do a quick visual inspection, checking floors for any spills, wiping down the few surfaces that show splatter, and ensuring the trash bins near the staff entrance are empty. The kitchen is large and professional grade, with equipment that could serve a small restaurant. Everything is stainless steel and industrial efficiency. As you're checking the kitchen, you find something unusual in the dry storage area, a bag of what appears to be alien grain. The bag is labelled in English as Guardian barley for Thor, do not use for regular meals, and it's sitting on a shelf alongside normal kitchen supplies. The contents look similar to regular barley, but with a faint golden sheen that regular earth grains don't have. You make a note to mention it to Marcus, not because it's a problem, but because kitchen staff should probably know it's there if they don't already. The dining area is where your primary work happens. The space is designed to be comfortable and welcoming, with a mix of table sizes to accommodate everything from solo diners to large groups. The decor is modern but warm, with artwork on the walls and large windows offering views of Manhattan. At this hour, the dining area is empty except for one person sitting at a corner table with a laptop and a cup of coffee. You recognise Natasha Romanoff, Black Widow, working on something that's probably either mission reports or something equally serious. She's in casual clothes, her red hair pulled back in a ponytail, and she glances up as you enter with your cart. "Evening, Sarah," she says, her voice carrying the slight accent that comes and goes depending on her mood or what languages she's been speaking lately. "Go ahead, I'll move if you need to clean my area." "No rush, Agent Romanoff," you reply, using her formal title out of respect. "I'll start at the far end and work my way over. Take your time." You begin with the tables farthest from where Natasha is working, wiping down surfaces with disinfectant, checking chairs for stability and cleanliness, and straightening place settings that the cafeteria staff left out for breakfast. Each table gets thorough attention: tops, edges, legs, and the floor around it. Under one table you find a Shield ID badge. The photo shows a young man, serious expression, identified as Agent Martinez D. The badge is active. The holographic security features are visible when you tilt it. This definitely needs to go to security immediately. You photograph the badge in place, text security with its location, and wait for their response before touching it. The reply is quick. "Secure the badge, we'll send someone to collect it. Agent Martinez reported it missing this morning." You carefully pick up the badge using a napkin to avoid adding your fingerprints, place it in a small plastic bag from your cart, and seal it. Security arrives 5 minutes later. A uniformed guard you recognize from previous interactions, and you hand over the badge with a quick explanation of where you found it. The guard thanks you and logs the recovery in their tablet. The floor requires vacuuming. The cafeteria carpet is commercial grade, designed to hide stains and wear, but it still accumulates crumbs, debris, and the tracked-in dirt that any high-traffic area collects. You work methodically, moving chairs as needed, getting into corners and under tables where debris accumulates. Natasha finishes her work and closes her laptop as you're approaching her area. "All yours," she says, standing and picking up her coffee cup. "Coffee station is out of sugar, by the way. I took the last packet." "I'll restock it, thank you for letting me know," you reply, appreciating the heads up. Natasha heads toward the exit, then pauses. "You do good work, Sarah. Most people wouldn't notice small details, but you're thorough." She nods toward where you found the ID badge. "Security appreciates the protocol you follow too. Makes their job easier." "Thank you, Agent Romanoff. I appreciate you saying that." She leaves, and you allow yourself a moment of quiet pride, recognition from Black Widow, who probably notices everything and rarely comments unless she means it, feels significant. You continue cleaning Natasha's table, then move to the coffee station she mentioned. The station is indeed out of sugar, and also running low on coffee cups and stirrers. You restock from the supplies in the cafeteria's storage closet: sugar, sweetener, cups, lids, stirrers, napkins, and coffee filters for the commercial coffee makers. The coffee makers themselves need wiping down, their exteriors showing splatter and drips from the day's use. The refrigerators for staff use need attention too. You open them one at a time, checking for expired items. You find several. A yogurt that's 2 weeks past its date, discarded. A sandwich with suspicious green spots, discarded. And someone's leftovers in a container that has no date but smells questionable, discarded. You make a mental note to post a reminder about labelling and dating personal food items. In the last refrigerator, you find something that makes you pause. A clearly alien food item in an unopened container labelled Kree Ration Bar, property of Captain Marvel, do not eat. The container is sealed but clearly marked, and you absolutely do not touch it. Alien food is beyond your pay grade and probably requires special handling. You photograph it and text Marcus, possible alien food item in cafeteria fridge, labelled for Captain Marvel, leaving it alone. Should I report to anyone else? Marcus responds, good call not touching it. I'll notify Captain Marvel's liaison. She's off-world, but probably wants it there for when she returns. Leave it. The tables are all clean, the floor is vacuumed, the coffee station is restocked, and the refrigerators are cleared of expired items except for the alien ration bar that stays put. The cafeteria is ready for tomorrow's breakfast service. You check your phone? 02:41. The shift is entering its final phase, with just a few more areas to address before dawn. The elevator carries you down to collect fresh supplies from the main storage, restock your cart, and prepare for the final few hours of work. Back on floor 18, you're finishing up some detail work in a smaller lounge area when you notice something concerning. A manila folder sitting on a side table, partially open, with papers visible inside. The papers have red headers reading, Classified, Level 4, Shield Eyes Only. Visible even from several feet away. This is exactly the kind of thing that protocols are designed to handle. You don't touch the folder, don't get close enough to read any of the visible text, and immediately photograph the folder from a distance that doesn't capture any readable content. Your text to Marcus is brief. Floor 18, small lounge, classified shield documents, left on side table. I have not touched or read them. Requesting security response. The response is immediate. Don't touch anything. Stay in the area to direct security. They're on their way. You position yourself near the lounge entrance, but not close enough to the folder to accidentally see any content. Security arrives within 3 minutes. 2 guards, one of whom you recognize as the same person who collected the shield badge earlier. They approach the folder carefully, one of them scanning the area with some kind of handheld device, before examining the documents. It's genuine classified material, one guard confirms to the other. Captain Rogers' briefing from this morning. He was supposed to secure it after reading. The guard carefully closes the folder, places it in a lockable case they brought with them, and seals it. Then they turn to you. Good catch, Sarah. This is the 2nd time this week that classified materials have been left in common areas. We're going to have another security briefing about proper document handling. I'm just glad I found it before anyone else did, you say, honestly. Is there anything else I need to do? We'll file the report. You did exactly right. Didn't touch it, didn't read it, called it in immediately. That's the protocol working as intended. The guard makes notes on their tablet. We'll follow up with Captain Rogers. Not your problem to worry about. They leave with the secured folder, and you return to your cleaning. The incident is a reminder that even superheroes sometimes make mistakes with security procedures, and your job includes being alert to these situations. The trust that comes with your access level is not something you take lightly. As you're finishing the small lounge, you find another interesting item. Wedged between couch cushions, a small device that looks like a USB drive, but with a distinctly non-Earth design. It's sleek, made from a material that looks like it might be metal, but feels different, and it has symbols etched into its surface that you don't recognize. This definitely qualifies as something unusual that should be reported. You photograph the device in place and text Marcus and security. Floor 18, small lounge, unidentified technology found in couch cushions. Appears possibly alien or advanced, not touching it. Security returns. This is getting to be a regular thing tonight, and examines the device with their scanning equipment. It's a Stark Industries prototype, one guard explains. Still classified, but not dangerous. Probably someone from the R&D floor lost it. We'll get it back to them. Thanks for reporting it. You're developing a reputation as someone who finds things, apparently. The night shift certainly provides interesting discoveries beyond just normal cleaning work. The rest of Floor 18 passes without incident. More vacuuming, more surface cleaning, the usual work, but you remain alert for anything else that might need reporting. The protocols exist for good reasons, and following them carefully is part of what makes you good at your job. At 03:15, you return to the staff break room for your scheduled meal break. The night shift is allocated 2 15-minute breaks and 1 30-minute meal break during the 8-hour shift, and you've learned to time them carefully. Too early, and you're exhausted during the last hours of the shift. Too late, and you're working on fumes. Around 3 a.m. is perfect, far enough into the shift that you've earned the break, early enough that you have energy to finish strong. The break room is occupied by a few other night shift workers, 2 security guards on their break, 1 maintenance worker, and someone from the kitchen staff who's preparing for early breakfast service. The presence of others makes the break room feel comfortable rather than isolated, and there's a quiet camaraderie among night shift workers across different departments. You heat up the dinner you brought from home in the microwave, leftover pasta that reheats well and provides good energy for the remaining hours. While it heats, you refill your water bottle from the filtered water dispenser and pour yourself a fresh cup of coffee. The coffee is still the good stuff, and at this hour it tastes even better than usual. The pasta is simple but satisfying, and you eat slowly, giving your body time to rest and refuel. Around you, the other break room occupants have their own routines. The security guards are reviewing something on a tablet, occasionally chuckling at what appears to be security footage from somewhere in the building. The maintenance worker is reading a paperback novel, completely absorbed in the story. The kitchen staff member is checking inventory on their phone, occasionally making notes. The TV in the corner is on but muted, showing late-night news with captions. The usual mix of world events, local stories, and the occasional piece about the Avengers or other superhero activities. You watch without really focusing, letting your mind rest along with your body. One of the security guards looks up and recognizes you. "Hey, you're the one who found the classified folder earlier, right? And the shield badge?" "That's me," you confirm, "just following protocols." "Well, we appreciate it. Makes our job easier when people actually follow the rules instead of just pocketing things or ignoring problems." The guard returns to their tablet, and you feel that same quiet satisfaction from being acknowledged for doing your work properly. The maintenance worker dog-ears their page and looks up. "You're on custodial night shift, right? How's Marcus as a supervisor? I'm thinking about putting in for a transfer to custodial." "He's good," you say honestly. "Fair, organised, supports his team. If you follow the protocols and do the work, he's great to work for. He doesn't micromanage, but he notices when things are done well." "That's what I've heard. Think there are any openings coming up?" "I don't know about openings, but it can't hurt to talk to him. He does the hiring for night shift." The conversation continues lightly, the kind of shop talk that happens when workers from different departments share break time. Nothing profound, just the comfortable interaction of people who work in the same place and understand the rhythms of overnight labour. Your phone alarm chirps softly. 5 minutes left on your break. You finish your pasta, wash your container in the break room sink, refill your coffee, and prepare to return to work. The break has done its job. Your feet feel better, your energy is restored, and you're ready for the last few hours of the shift. As you're leaving, the kitchen staff member calls out, "Hey, someone left a bag in one of the fridges labelled Asgardian barley." "Is that a joke, or is it actually from Asgard?" "Actually from Asgard, I think," you reply. "It's labelled for Thor's use. I found it during my kitchen check earlier." "Huh, I'll let the day shift chef know. They'll probably want to research Asgardian cooking." The staff member makes a note. "Thanks." You head back to your cart, which you left secured in the service corridor. The break is over, the work continues. 3.5 hours left in the shift, and then you can go home to sleep while the day shift takes over. Floor 19 includes a laundry collection point, where you deposit all the laundry service bags you've collected from residents throughout the night. The laundry room is substantial, with industrial washers and dryers that handle the volume of cleaning required for Avengers Tower. The actual laundry processing is handled by a different shift, but part of your duties includes ensuring collected laundry is properly sorted and tagged for processing. You wheel your cart into the laundry room, where several collection bins are arranged by type: regular clothing, delicate items, uniforms, and specialized gear, and a separate secured bin for items that require special handling, usually because they've been exposed to unusual substances during missions. Sam Wilson's laundry bag goes into the regular clothing bin after you verify the tag is properly filled out. Several other residents had left laundry bags during your suite cleaning, and each gets sorted appropriately. One bag from a SHIELD agent staying temporarily is marked for delicate handling, probably expensive dress clothes that need careful treatment. The uniform and specialized gear bin is interesting because it sometimes contains hero suits that need cleaning. Tonight, there are two items: what appears to be a backup Hawkeye uniform. You recognize the distinctive purple and black, and one of Black Widow's training suits. The training suit has clearly been through intense use. There are scuff marks, sweat stains, and what might be small tears that need repair. You don't handle the hero suits directly, that's above your clearance, but you do verify they're properly tagged and secured in the bin. The laundry service that handles hero gear is specialized, staffed by people with higher security clearance and training in handling potentially contaminated or damaged equipment. Your job is just to ensure items make it to the right collection point. In the back corner of the laundry room, you find something that makes you pause: a cape. Not just any cape, but clearly Thor's cape, the red fabric distinctive and the material feeling unusual even without touching it. The cape is draped over a sorting table with a note: Thor's cape needs cleaning, handled by specialized team only. You photograph the cape and its note. Text Marcus: Thor's cape in laundry room with note about specialized cleaning. Just confirming I should leave it alone? Correct, don't touch it. Special team handles that stuff. They'll collect it separately, Marcus confirms. As you're organizing the laundry collection area, one of the overnight laundry staff arrives to begin processing the evening's collected items. She's a woman in her 50s named Gloria, who's been with Stark Industries longer than anyone can remember, and who runs the laundry operation with fierce efficiency. Evening, Sarah, Gloria greets you, already pulling on her work gloves. Good collection tonight? Pretty standard. Sam's bag, several SHIELD guest bags, couple of uniforms in the special bin. Oh, and Thor's cape is on the back table with a note. Gloria nods. I saw that earlier. Team coming in at 4. To handle it, that cape requires specific cleaning protocols. Can't just throw it in a regular machine. Last time someone tried that, it set off some kind of magical response, and we had to evacuate the laundry room for 3 hours. Magical response? You're curious despite yourself. Apparently, Asgardian fabrics have properties that react to earth-cleaning chemicals. The cape started glowing and heating up until someone with magic expertise could neutralize it. Ever since then, only the specialized team touches Thor's gear. Gloria starts sorting through the regular clothing bin with practiced efficiency. Same with some of the other heroes' equipment. Hulk's pants, for example, need special treatment because of the expansion properties. Iron Man's undersuit has embedded technology that can't handle normal water temperature. This job's more complex than people think. You help Gloria for a few minutes, not because you're required to, but because lending a hand is part of working well with other departments. She appreciates the assistance, and you appreciate learning more about how the tower's various operations interconnect. Found something interesting earlier, Gloria mentions as she's tagging a bag. Someone's uniform pocket had what looked like alien technology. Small device, definitely not from Earth. I reported it to security. I found some unusual stuff tonight too, you share. Classified documents, a tech device, a couple of other things. Seems like a night for discoveries. Full moon, Gloria says matter-of-factly, as if that explains everything. Always more weird stuff happens during full moons. Even in a building full of superheroes, the lunar cycle makes things stranger. You're not sure if you believe in lunar effects on daily life, but you're also cleaning Avengers Tower at 4 a.m, so you're willing to accept that stranger things exist than you previously believed. After helping Gloria sort the laundry, you return to your cart and continue to your next assignment. The tower still has areas that need cleaning, and the shift clock is advancing toward dawn. Floor 22, in addition to Thor's suite, houses a smaller gym designed for general use rather than specialized training. This gym is where residents go for casual workouts, not the intense training that happens in the dedicated facilities on floor 20. It's well equipped but more intimate, with a few cardio machines, a modest weight section, and enough space for floor exercises or yoga. Cleaning the common gym at 4 a.m. means it's been roughly 12 hours since the last cleaning, accumulating a full day's worth of use. The space shows evidence of multiple workouts, towels left on equipment, water bottles abandoned on benches, weights not returned to their racks, and the general disarray that accumulates when people are focused on exercise rather than clean-up. You start with the obvious, collecting abandoned items and returning them to their proper places. Towels go into a laundry bag for washing. Water bottles that are clearly empty and forgotten go into recycling. A phone charger still plugged into the wall outlet goes into your lost and found box. A pair of wireless earbuds found on the floor also goes to lost and found. Those are expensive, and someone will be looking for them. The weight racks need reorganizing. Someone has mixed up the dumbbells, placing a 25-pound weight where a 15-pound weight should be, creating a disorganized system that will frustrate the next person who tries to work out. You systematically reorganize, ensuring weights are in ascending order and properly placed. It's tedious but necessary. Good gym etiquette matters, and part of your job is maintaining that standard even when users don't. The cardio machines need thorough wiping down. Each treadmill, elliptical and stationary bike shows sweat marks on the handlebars and control panels, and some have actual sweat drips on the belts or pedals. You use your disinfectant cleaner and dedicated gym equipment cloths, working methodically across each machine. The control panels get special attention. They're electronic and can't handle too much moisture, but they still need sanitizing. One treadmill has an out of order sign taped to it with a note: belt slipping, maintenance notified. You photograph the sign and send a quick text to the maintenance group chat, confirming they're aware of the issue. The response confirms it's on their list for tomorrow morning. On one of the weight benches, you find something unusual: a small notebook, spiral bound, with the cover labelled Workout Log P. Parker. You found several training logs tonight. Apparently everyone keeps physical records of their exercise routines. This one goes into the lost and found with the others. When you flip it open, just to confirm there's no contact information inside, you notice the handwriting is young, enthusiastic, with entries showing rapid progression in strength and endurance. Spider-Man's workout log, probably. You close it quickly. Not your business to read someone's training records. The floor is where most of your time goes. Gym floors accumulate sweat drops, tracked dirt, and general grime quickly. You use your gym floor cleaner and mop, working in sections to ensure thorough coverage without making the floor dangerously slippery. The rubber gym flooring is forgiving and easy to clean, but it requires proper technique to avoid streaking. Near the weight racks, you find small drops of what appears to be blood, probably from someone tearing a callus or getting a small cut during lifting. It's not uncommon in gyms, and you handle it with the proper protocol. Wear gloves, clean with disinfectant, ensure complete removal of all biological material. The spot comes clean easily, and you dispose of the cleaning materials in your biohazard bag. The mirror wall that lines one side of the gym needs attention. Gym mirrors get covered in fingerprints, sweat, spray and general haze quickly. You use your glass cleaner and yellow cloths, working in vertical strokes to avoid streaking. The mirrors are large, floor to ceiling, about 20 feet long, so this takes time, but when you finish, they're pristine, offering perfect reflection for the next person who uses them for form checking. The gym's small bathroom requires full cleaning. It's a single-occupant bathroom with a toilet, sink, and shower. The shower shows evidence of recent use: wet floor, towel hung on the rack, and that characteristic steam moisture that showers leave behind. You clean thoroughly, scrubbing the shower floor and walls, sanitizing the toilet and sink, mopping the floor. The towel goes into your laundry collection. As you're finishing the bathroom, you hear the gym door open. Someone is coming in for an early morning workout. Not unusual, even at 4:30 a.m. You exit the bathroom to see Steve Rogers, Captain America himself, entering the gym in workout clothes, carrying a water bottle and wearing wireless earbuds. "Morning, Sarah," he says, pulling out one earbud. "Don't let me interrupt. I can wait if you need more time." "I'm just about finished," you assure him. "Just need to do a final check and I'll be out of your way." "Take your time. I'm not in a rush." He sets down his water bottle and begins some light stretching. You complete your final walkthrough quickly but thoroughly, checking that all equipment is clean, the floor is properly mopped, and everything is in its proper place. As you're heading for the door with your cart, Steve calls out, "Hey, I heard you found some classified documents I left out earlier. Thank you for handling that properly. I got the security memo. My mistake leaving them in the lounge." "Just following protocol, Captain Rogers. Glad security could get them secured quickly." "Still, I appreciate the professionalism. The tower runs smoothly because people like you pay attention to details." He returns to his stretching, and you exit the gym, feeling once again that quiet pride in being recognized for doing your job well. The shift is approaching its final hour. Soon the day staff will begin arriving, and you'll transition to closing tasks, final documentation, and preparing to hand off to the morning shift. At 05:47, with just over an hour left in your shift, you begin the closing procedures that prepare your work for handoff to the day shift. The final tasks are less about cleaning new areas and more about ensuring everything you've done is properly documented and that the day shift has what they need to start successfully. Your first stop is the equipment room, where you'll restock your cart supplies and check in any items that need special attention. The cart's compartments are noticeably depleted after a full night's work. Trash bags are gone, cleaning solution bottles are low, cloths are dirty, and various supplies need replenishment. You systematically restock, pulling fresh supplies from the equipment room's inventory shelves. New trash bags in all sizes, fresh bottles of cleaning solutions, new microfiber cloths to replace the ones you'll send to laundry, gloves, and all the other consumables. The depleted bottles and dirty cloths go into their respective collection points for refilling or washing. The lost and found box gets checked and documented. Tonight's haul includes several training notebooks, a phone charger, wireless earbuds, Sam Wilson's water bottle, you're pretty sure he has a dozen of them, but you log it anyway, and various other small items. Each item gets entered into the lost and found database with your employee number, the location where you found it, and the date, time. The system generates tags that you attach to each item before placing them in the secure lost and found cabinet. Your documentation review takes another 15 minutes. You go through your shift notes, ensuring everything that needs reporting has been properly recorded. The scorch mark outside Thor's suite, the toilet that's running in suite 1507, the treadmill that's out of service in the common gym, the burn marks on Thor's stove, various other minor maintenance issues. Each note gets entered into the facilities management system, which will generate work orders for the appropriate teams. The incident reports for the classified documents and the shield badge are already filed. Security handled those in real time, but you verify they're in the system and properly attributed to your shift. Proper documentation is important not just for facilities management, But for security tracking and legal compliance, Marcus arrives early, as he always does, to review the night shift's work and prepare for any special situations the day shift might face. You meet with him in the custodial office for your end-of-shift briefing. "How was the night, Sarah?" Marcus asks, pulling up the shift reports on his computer. "Productive," you report. "Completed all assigned floors, found some interesting items including classified materials and unusual technology, all reported properly. Thor's suite had the expected challenges. Dr. Banner's labs were straightforward. Common Gym had the usual post-workout mess. No major issues, all protocols followed." Marcus nods, clicking through your documented work. "I see that. Good work on the classified documents. Security sent me a commendation note for your handling of that. They're going to use it as a training example of proper protocol following." He makes some notes on his own system. Banner also sent a message saying he appreciates your careful work in his labs. He's particular about who he trusts in there. You feel that warm satisfaction again. Recognition from both security and Dr. Banner in one night is validating. "Any supplies we're running low on?" Marcus asks, moving to logistics. "General supplies are good. Might want to order more of the specialty gym floor cleaner soon. We're down to maybe 3 bottles, and we're completely out of the Asgardian safe cleaning solutions that the special team uses for Thor's stuff." Marcus makes notes. "I'll put in the orders. Anything else I should know about for the day shift?" You mention a few minor items, areas that might need extra attention, the treadmill that's waiting for repair, the usual handoff information that helps the next shift work efficiently. At 06:47, you clock out at the time clock, your thumb pressing against the biometric scanner for the last time this shift. The system displays your hours. 8 hours, 0 minutes. You arrived early, but the system only counts official shift time. Your timesheet shows a full week of successful shifts, and the auto-calculated paycheck preview shows this was a good week financially. In the locker room, you change out of your work uniform and back into your street clothes. The work clothes go into your personal laundry bag to take home for washing. Your regular clothes feel comfortable after 8 hours in work attire, and you're ready to transition from employee to private person heading home. The walkout of the building reverses your entrance from 8 hours ago. You badge out at the security desk, wave goodbye to the security guard you've gotten to know over 3 years, and exit through the staff door onto East 58th Street. Manhattan in the early morning is different from Manhattan at night. The city is waking up, delivery trucks making their rounds, early commuters heading to work, the sky brightening from darkness toward dawn. The October air is cool and fresh, carrying the promise of a clear autumn day. Your car is in the employee parking garage a block away, and the walk there gives you time to transition from work mode to home mode. The night's work is complete, your duties fulfilled, and now you can rest. The drive home through early morning Manhattan is peaceful in a way that rush hour never is. Traffic is light, mostly delivery trucks and other overnight workers heading home like you. The streets are familiar, after 3 years of making this commute 5 nights a week, and your hands navigate the route almost automatically while your mind processes the night's work. You think about the variety of tasks the shift included: standard residential cleaning, the cafeteria work, the gym facilities, Dr. Banner's labs, Thor's unique living space. Each area required different skills and attention, and you moved through them all with the competence that comes from experience. The discoveries, classified documents, unusual technology, lost items added interest to the routine, and the brief interactions with Avengers and other residents provided human connection in what could otherwise be an isolated job. Working the night shift means your schedule is inverted from most people's. While others are waking up, you're going to sleep. While they're at their work days, you're sleeping or running errands. While they're having dinner, you're preparing for work. It's an adjustment that took months to fully adapt to, but now it feels normal. The night shift suits you. It's quieter, less supervised, more autonomous than day work would be. Your apartment building appears ahead, and you pull into your designated parking spot. The building is modest but well maintained, a place you can afford on a custodial worker's salary in a city where housing is notoriously expensive. The neighbourhood is decent, the commute is reasonable, and after 3 years here, it feels like home. The stairs to your third-floor apartment are familiar, climbed thousands of times. Your key slides into the lock with the smooth feeling of regular use, and the door opens to the quiet, dim space you left 8 hours ago. The apartment is small, studio efficiency, but it's yours organised to your preferences, decorated with the things you care about. You go through your post-shift routine with the practiced efficiency of ritual. Shoes by the door, work bag on its hook, keys in their bowl. The kitchen is small but functional, and you pour yourself a glass of water, drinking it slowly while standing at the counter. Hydration is important after a shift on your feet. The shower is quick but thorough, washing away the night's accumulated sweat and cleaning product residue. The water is hot, the pressure is good, and the few minutes under the spray help your muscles relax. You change into comfortable sleep clothes, soft pants and a t-shirt, the kind of clothes that exist solely for comfort. The bedroom is the best part of your apartment. You've invested in a good mattress, quality pillows, and blackout curtains that block the morning sun. Sleep during the day requires creating artificial night, and your bedroom accomplishes this well. The space is dark, cool, and quiet, perfect conditions for the deep sleep you need after 8 hours of physical work. Before bed, you check your phone one last time. A text from Marcus. Thanks for the good work tonight. See you Monday. A notification from the building management app about a package delivery. An email from your credit union showing your paycheck will deposit tomorrow. The mundane communications of regular life. You set your phone on the nightstand, plug it into charge, and set your alarm for 2 p.m. 6 hours from now, you'll wake up to your afternoon, which is your morning, and begin your day, which is the world's afternoon. The inverted schedule is just part of life now. The bed welcomes you with familiar comfort. The mattress knows your body's contours, the pillows support your head at exactly the right angle. The blankets provide warmth without weight. You settle into your preferred sleeping position and feel your body beginning to relax, the accumulated tension of the shift releasing. Your mind reviews the night one more time. The suites cleaned, the common areas serviced, the items found and reported, the protocols followed, the interactions with residents and colleagues. It was a good shift. The work was completed well, problems were handled properly, and the tower is cleaner and more organised because of your efforts. The satisfaction of work done well is a real and valuable thing. You helped maintain a building where heroes saved the world, ensured their living spaces were clean and comfortable, found and reported security concerns, and performed your duties with the professionalism that 3 years of experience has developed. As sleep begins to pull you under, your last conscious thought is simple. Tomorrow night, you'll do it again. The tower will need cleaning, the residents will need service, and you'll be there to provide it. It's routine work in an extraordinary place, and somehow that makes it meaningful in its own way. Now, as Sarah drifts into her well-earned rest, let yourself do the same. The work is complete. 8 hours of careful attention to detail, methodical cleaning, and professional service has concluded. The Avengers Tower is cleaner for it. The residents are cared for, and all the small tasks that keep a massive building functioning have been attended to with quiet competence. Your own rest awaits, just as Sarah's does. Let the memory of the night's steady work settle over you like a comfortable blanket. There's something deeply soothing about the rhythm of routine tasks, the satisfaction of organising chaos, the peace that comes from knowing your work matters even if it's not dramatic or celebrated. Imagine yourself in your own bed, your own comfortable space, with the same kind of familiar comfort that Sarah found in her apartment. The pillows support your head just right. The blankets provide perfect warmth. The darkness is complete and restful. The quiet is deep and peaceful. Let your breathing slow and deepen, matching the pace of someone drifting into deep sleep. In and out, steady and calm, each breath releasing a little more of the day's tension, each exhale carrying you deeper into rest. The cleaning cart in Avengers Tower sits parked and ready for tomorrow night's shift. The supplies are restocked, the lost and found items are secured, the documentation is complete. Everything is in order, everything is prepared, everything is exactly as it should be. And you too can let everything be exactly as it should be. No more tasks to complete tonight, no more problems to solve, no more attention required. Just rest, just sleep, just the gentle drift into unconsciousness that your body and mind need. The tower's residents sleep in their clean suites, the night shift workers head home to their own beds. The building settles into its early morning quiet when the night people have finished and the day people haven't yet arrived. This liminal time between shifts, between night and day, when the world pauses to rest, you're pausing too. Resting too, letting yourself sink into the same deep sleep that Sarah has found. Your muscles relax completely, releasing all the tension they've been holding. Your mind stops its constant processing, letting thoughts drift away like cleaning carts rolling down quiet corridors. The work is done, the shift is complete, the tasks are finished, and now there is only rest. Sleep comes easy when you've earned it through honest work. Sleep comes natural when your body and mind are ready for it. Sleep comes deep when you stop resisting and simply allow it to happen. So allow it now. Let yourself drift. Let yourself fade. Let yourself sleep. Good night, friend. May your rest be as deep and peaceful as Sarah's. And may you wake refreshed and ready for whatever your own tomorrow brings. The tower stands watch over Manhattan, its lights glowing softly in the early morning. Inside, everything is clean and organized and ready. And you are ready too. Ready to sleep. Ready to rest. Ready to let go. Good night.